are 3 things that I am no longer gatekeeping because you all need to know this. Number 1, ShotSpotter. ShotSpotter is a software. There's a company in California who says that they can locate or determine the location where a gunshot came from. It's total BS. It's so controversial and it does not work. But they typically get things wrong and it typically targets people in brown communities. So what happens is they'll say, well, this gunshot came from this area, and with very little supporting information. So what happened?
And I would like to say something, just so you, right now in Georgia, I live in a predominantly Edomite area. It's in I live in a suburb area. I rent out a room. I rent out a major the master bedroom. I got my own bathroom and basically like a kitchen. It's just anyways. So there's gunshots taking place all the time out here, out in the woods, in these suburbs. People got like lakes behind their houses and stuff, and you hear gunshots every day, once a week. People shooting their guns, man. And then to hear her say this technology that Esau is developing, it is going to be directed. They're going to say it's, we can stop crime. We can help it's the same thing. They say there's a benefit for the technology, but then they use the technology for something else. And that's exactly what they're going to be doing with this.
A lot of time officers go out and just kind of harass people because they believe that this information is accurate, and it has been proven not to be. Number 2, flock cameras, FLOCK. These are cameras that typically have a license plate reader attached to them, and they're on some type of pole. They have traditionally been used by homeowners associations in the event that something happens in the neighborhood. They can say, okay, who was or who was not in the neighborhood, and hopefully possibly pinpoint the assailant. However, now law enforcement is now using these cameras pretty much in a way to circumvent search warrant requirements, and they typically put these cameras in high crime areas, which in law enforcement, as we all know, means brown areas.
So they're using this technology to move around the need for warrants, to just kind of like legally jump the gun to be illegal to get illegal stuff, which typically turns into accusations, which is all crazy. It's Esau being wild.
And last but not least, if you live in a state where marijuana is not legal, like Texas, they are putting tons of federal and state task force together to prosecute people who get marijuana brought from states where it's legal to states where it's illegal. So let's just say you are in Texas or Alabama or somewhere where it's not legal, and you are receiving marijuana from California. There are lots of task force working on that, or better yet, like in Oklahoma, which is right above Texas, medical marijuana is legal there, but they have several, and I do mean several, task force to prosecute people who are bringing marijuana from Oklahoma to Texas. And it's pretty unfair because they're charging people federally like this, and it's unfair because in states where marijuana is legal, whether it's recreational or not, they aren't prosecuting people for federal weed cases, even though at the federal level it's still illegal. The government really needs to act and just make marijuana legal, because what they're doing is selective prosecution, which is actually really messed up and kind of against the law. Here are 3.
Bam, the hypocrisy of Esau. So let's get some precepts on this. Let me hold on.
And more, you can query flock cameras for a person walking a dog.
All right, here goes that flock again. This is a real life scenario. Individuals driving a Hellcat with an out-of-state tag. Unbeknownst to this individual, he drove through a particular county and it came up in a flock. And when it came up in the flock, the actual officer that saw it tagged the vehicle. And tagged it based upon the fact that most vehicles that are Hellcats or those type of vehicles with out-of-town tags or out-of-state tags are considered to be stolen. So this individual is driving all around the metro Atlanta area and keeps getting stopped by law enforcement. And the reason he kept getting stopped is because someone in one county saw this vehicle in a flock system and tagged it in a flock system, which caused every single law enforcement agency in the area to get that flag every time that vehicle came up in their vicinity. Flock cameras are everywhere.
It's crazy, huh? Let's get that precept. I'll play a couple more videos, but I just wanted to show this really fast. I believe it's Second Ezra's. Actually, you know what? I can go this way. Second Ezra's 15, Ecclesiasticus. Second Ezra's 15. Okay, so it's 17. I want to read more of the chapter. I just don't want to take too long. But let me pull out 7. This is 2 Ezra 15, verse 17. A man shall desire to go into his city and shall not be able. Let's go down to 18. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, and shall destroy their houses for the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. This entire chapter, this chapter really goes into detail of what is coming, okay, and what we're stepping into. But this lesson is to point out the hypocrisies and the wickedness of Esau, and his sister,
Here goes that flock.
and how he uses technology. See, all this technology could be used right at Esau too, right? They have the biggest or hugest human trafficking system. They have the biggest or hugest drug trafficking system. They control all that stuff. All of that stuff is ran by them. I'm not saying that the 2/3 that Jake doesn't do crimes. That's not what I'm saying in this lesson. Quote unquote, black on black crime, the curses, our eyes being evil toward each other. That is a reality that happens. We do stupid shit, and we point that stuff out, and we sound the alarm on our own people. We line up our own people with the precepts and what the Most High through Yahushua has told us not to do. The issue is with Esau being the wicked. He himself, as a race, as a nation, is lawless, and his hypocrisy and his strength is the law. He uses the law. I believe it's found in Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. Look at this. Where are you at? There you are. Boom. Now, I don't know the exact. I don't know. I know it's just this chapter is. Let's look at this chapter like a prophetic description of the DNA system, DNA structure, the instruction on how Yahweh Shai and the Elohim created the seed line or the nation of Edom. This is how their upper echelons works. Even those on the bottom, they also think like this. This self-righteous, religious law and order, with them being the top nation, imposing law and sanctions on everyone. This is where they get their veneer of righteousness from. When they are seen policing you, the Israelites, the northern and the southern kingdom, they then are made to look like the righteous people of the earth. When they go around to the other nations and they're putting sanctions on the other nations, and they're demonizing the kings or the princes of these other nations on their media, it was making the American people and the rest of the world believe, oh, those people must be bad, and Esau has to go and police and save, and he needs to be the hero of the day. Come to find out, it's all been enchantments, it's all been lies, it's all been based off of their rule of law. And if you come in here, I don't know exactly where the precept is or where the actual verse is. It's in this chapter, but this gives us a peek into the heart, into the lob, into the mind of how the wicked thinks. Let me read down. Let me see. I'm gonna start at 8. Okay, verse 8. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place, for this is our portion and our lot. That goes into them, monuments, naming nations after themselves, streets and cities after themselves. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. One of the nicknames, one of the prophetic names of the Hebrew Israelites is like prophets, like saints it's also the poor. Esau's called the rich. If you go into, I believe the parable that Yahushua gives about Lazarus and the rich man, Lazarus is the poor man and the rich man. That's talking about the elect, and it's talking about Edom, Esau. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the ages. That's talking about the Israelites. Let our strength, there it is, verse 11. Let our strength be the law of justice. What does Esau know about justice, you guys? He's the wicked in Scripture. His nickname, his name in prophecy is the wicked. So verse 11 goes into their strategies, what they've been given. They were endued with this ability to write law, to manipulate law, to impose law, to appear, for a long time as justice, as the good ones, while everybody else is being oppressed by them. But this is not. This is showing you what they are. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous. What is that? It's setting traps. That's creating situations to police. That's writing policy to ensnare and be able to police. That's putting situations. If you watch just look at the 13th Amendment, the way it's written. No man shall be a slave except through by reason of a crime. So what the fuck? What? So wait, hold on. What's that got to do? Hold on. You had us in slavery for 350 years. And you're claiming to be repenting of that. You're claiming to be letting us go. Yet you're writing one of these types of laws, right? You're letting the law, you let our strength be the law of justice, as it says in verse 11. And then therefore let us lie in wait. As the very next verse. This is giving you insight onto how this man works. The 13th Amendment. Let no man shall be a slave except by reason of a crime. Well, if you go back to when the 13th Amendment was written, we had no rights. We could not defend ourselves in court, and we couldn't take an Edomite man to court and prosecute him. We had no fucking rights. So these people had us in slavery, and then they write the 13th Amendment saying you can't be a slave to anybody unless by reason of a crime. And then you read right here, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 12, or verse 11 and 12, let our strength be the law of justice. Well, there goes your 13th Amendment right there. That's their strength. Their strength is, they would say there was no slaves claiming to be freeing us except by, here, I'll pull it up, except by reason of a crime. I'll prove it to you. That's what it says. It's like, what the fuck? 13th Amendment. Let me see if I can find how it's written. What is the 13th? 13th. Okay, right here. So look at this. You just got to read it. Section 1, neither slavery nor, so this is the 13th Amendment. Look what these people did, man. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punish. So there should, the word except, that word except is the clause. That is the revolving door. That's the loophole. This whole part right here. So when they told you, when they talk the 13th Amendment, when they say that, they use their witchcraft. They use their media to make you think, okay, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude. Oh, no one should be a slave. No, you have to read this. This is how they write. This is how they make justice. This is how they make the law of justice their strength. Except as a punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted. Duly convicted how? Here. In verses 11 and 12 of Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, let our strength be the law of justice. It didn't say anything about the Most High. It didn't say anything about Yahushai. This is not the Israelites talking. This is another race of people, the wicked, known as Esau, Edom, the so-called white men. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, verses 11 and 12 gives you a huge peek into the wicked hypocrisy of these motherfuckers and how they write laws and how they word them in English and how they impose them onto us, the Israelites, who they have renamed minorities, brown and black, poor, criminals, and they don't use this same strategy on their own fucking people. Which shows you how wicked these fuckers are, man. Therefore, let our strength be the law of justice. For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. Therefore, let us lie in wait. Why do you gotta lie in wait? If we're truly criminals, if we're truly being bad, you don't gotta fucking sneak around the corner to catch us. Look how the word of the Most High condemns Esau on all levels. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law. So look, you see how this is written? I thought their strength was the law of justice in verse 11, but down here it says we are upbraiding them with their offending the law. What law is this talking about? The law right here in the lower part of verse 12 is talking about the law of Moses, the prophets, the apostles, the law that was given to us by Yahweh in Leviticus and Deuteronomy and all throughout the scriptures. So that law is different than this law up here in verse 11. You see the contrast? Esau has his own law, bro, because it's the same race of people through Christianity, through Western Renaissance Christianity, that told the world the law down here in verse 12 is done away with. But now what? We're being woke up according to Ezekiel 37, and the prophets are back on the earth harping with their harps and singing the new song. And within that new song is the perfect understanding of what prophecy actually says, the understanding of who the nations are, the understanding of who Esau is, and what prophecy specifically says about Esau, and the returning to the laws, which are our heritage, the best that we can in the grace provided by Yahushua and his precious blood. Can you see that? Look at this, man. So therefore, let us lie in wait. This is the inner thought of the upper echelons of the Edomites. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous. That we know the Israelites is talking about the righteous. The righteous talking about the Israelites, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraided us with our offending the law. Now, this law is not talking about their law. It's talking about the Most High's law, and objecteth to our infamy the transgressions of our education. They're hypocrites. Okay? And then look, verse 13. He, talking about us, and this is them accusing us, he professes to have the knowledge of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. And he calleth himself the child of the Most High, and we are the sons of God. See, there's a separation between us and them. And then look at 14. He was made to reprove our thoughts. Let's go back to the video. Or let's look at this one more time. Look at 13th Amendment. These people are fucking wicked, man. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for a crime that should have never even been put in there, whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. So we can see them being exposed here in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. And we can see them right here proving that the Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 is talking about these fuckers. And then look at the videos. Let's just...
I ask people,
Let me see. Now listen,
so what does it look like to be
so listen to this Edomite exposing his own people because of their technology. Look at this.
living in a dystopia that's under mass surveillance? Well, it looks like that right there. That is a flock camera, and they are on every single corner of most major cities now, with more and more being installed consistently. There's a 2 more of those about a quarter mile that way. There's another 2 a quarter mile that way. And overall, there's pretty much one almost every 2 to 3 miles throughout the entire city. Some cities are a little bit less obvious with how they install them. It really depends on the demographics and how they believe the people will accept it. This is a very rich area, and for some reason rich people are a little more okay with mass surveillance projects. This flock camera is in real time scanning every single license plate and face that goes past it and uploading it to a database, so that way if anything happens, they can just go look at that database and be like, well, we see that blah blah walked by at this time, or blah 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 drove by at this time, we're going to go investigate them. Not only that, but it's also connected to all the warrant systems and things like that. So if you have a warrant and you drive past it, that camera is going to scan your license plate and it's going to submit it immediately to the local sheriffs, and they'll be aware that you're in town, and they will either inform the court or they'll go out and find you and arrest you. This is what it's like moving into our dystopian mass surveillance era, and everybody's just kind of letting it happen. They don't even seem to be aware that our cities are voting on this technology to be implemented, and it won't be long until these systems are fully AI ran, you know, so...
And that right there, what's AI? It's a program that sounds like it's self-aware, can become self-aware. I don't know the depths of it, but who's the creator or the manipulator of AI? Fucking Esau. Which means what? That technology is going to be tainted with the same infection, with the same wickedness that Esau has in his DNA. Which means what? AI is going to be directed at the Israelites. It's gonna have the actions of its own father, of its own creator, you know?
Welcome to dystopian America, where your every move is watched and you better not do anything wrong. So what does it look like?
So that goes back into this precept, man. Where we were at with Second Esdras. Which, and it's so much more about, it's so much more, you know, this is so much more deeper than just martial law. It's way more deeper than that, you know? Verse 17, 2 Esdras 15, verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Okay? So let's go up. Let's read up a little bit more. So look at this. So I'll start from verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. You know, you can line that up with Revelations 12, talking about Satan comes down upon you having great wrath. Okay? All this stuff ties together. It is all one big, wonderfully spoken, sung, written song, new song of the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Shai, you know? So, verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Verse 16, for there shall be seditions among men. And what's that, seditions? And we've been seeing that too. Look at this. Someone was just talking about this yesterday. Seditions. Yeah, that's why it was so soon, because they were breaking it down. So you got mid 14th century sedition, rebellion, uprising, revolt, factitious commotion in the state, concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority, violent strife between factions, civil or religious, disorder, riot, rebelliousness against authority. This is right around the door. This is right outside the door, man. This is right around the corner. This is all about to happen. Verse 16, for there shall be seditions among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor their princes. So we are seeing everything come to pass in detail in second Esdras, man. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. I'm going to play one more video and we'll be done.
Be living in it. So today we're announcing 480.
Look at this piece of shit. Look at him with his fucking, his suit, his fake perfect teeth, his bald face, and look how pink his skin is. Look at the reddish hue of his thumbs and his fucking neck and his forehead compared to his white t-shirt. His t-shirt is white. He is not. This is an Edomite. Edom means red and wasted away. Okay? Is it Isashua? Is that how you say it? Esau? I'm just at the beginning stages of learning how to enunciate the Hebrew. It is, oh my God, the Paleo Hebrew, the Lashawan Kodash is such a handsome, holy articulation of language, man. I pray that the Most High unlocks my tongue, my mind, to learn and to remember these words. The prayers, I'm just at the beginning stages of studying some of the prayers right now. They're so beautiful, but I didn't mean to go off. But so look at this man. He's pink, his shirt's white, and look, oh, I'm here to present to you. Yeah, I'm Esau. Look, he's going to tell you the benefit of why they got to have this technology. Look at this.
New cameras. These are referred to as flock cameras, which will aid and support the efforts of law enforcement to focus on stolen vehicles. This is proven technology where privacy is foundational and a core component of the effort. This is building on efforts we made just a few weeks ago with the surge of California Highway Patrol in partnership with the Department of Justice. By the way, that's led to already 200 arrests, over 400 vehicles that have been recovered that were otherwise stolen. Part of it, broad strategy, not just a law enforcement only strategy to begin to beautify this extraordinary community here in Oakland and support this strategy. So today,
everything out these motherfuckers' mouth is a lie. Let's get that one. What is it? Hold up. Here we go. I'm gonna get it. It's I believe it's in Proverbs. I don't have it memorized yet, but it's 7 abominations. I love it because I know it's talking about this motherfucker. 7 abominations are in his heart, in his mind. And Yahweh said, from the abundance of a man's heart, from the abundance of a man's mind, his mouth speaks. Look at this. Proverbs 26:25. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. Esau is perfect. He is complete in abominable abominations, man. He is a profane man. Nothing he says.
we're announcing
Nothing he says is ever the truth. Everything he says is a fucking lie. The thing is he's mastered the very soft speech. He talks real calm. You never see him cussing. You never hear him cussing. He's not, he's just calm. Oh, yeah. Oh, and the whole time he's talking about fucking destroying the whole planet.
All right. So flock cameras seem to be the thing of today. And when I tell people about flock camera, they don't know anything about it. So we're going to start a series on flock cameras. And just so that you know, if you drive down the street and you see a black pole with, it looks like a solar panel facing up and a little box in front, that's typically a flock camera. And that flock camera basically captures every single tag that it encounters. So guess what? This is another level of Big Brother. So stay tuned for our flock camera series where we show different scenarios where flock cameras came into play.
So I pray that this lesson was edifying. Just wanted to touch base on this or bring this out. I haven't seen anyone do a lesson on it yet. I just saw this right now, so I figured, yep, I'll put it up. So this is I want to give all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone of whom I learned this truth from, and the shalom to the hopeful elect, taking this truth to the four corners, bidding the elect to the marriage supper of the Lamb. This is your brother Radah with the lesson, shalom.